Good challenge show, folks. So I don't have a video of working on this job that I'm actually you just seen some of the footage for, but what I'm doing right now is I just bought a cam. I think it's a Superline dump trailer. It's a 12,000 gross GVWR gross rating of 12,000 pounds to haul like 4.5 tons, I think, of material. And that's what I ended up going with. It seemed like it was the better of the few deals that I was looking at around my area. I travel a little bit to get this one, and I will show you right off the get-go. This is the first time I'm actually getting to use the dump trailer, and I'll show you right off the get-go a few of the things that I already noticed they skimped on to bring the price down to lure people like me in, where I'm like, hey, seems like a good deal. Yeah, this is what 4-ton, 8,000 pounds of rock 57s look like. Oh yeah. Wine just a little bit, but I think it'll handle 5 tons no problem. Number one problem that I've found thus far is a frame for dumping or tailgating. This tailgate does it's a 3-way tailgate. It will do tailgate like a truck tailgate, do barn doors, and the spreader gate. Well, this frame right here has nothing holding it in the center right here. There's no support for it. So when you're doing jobs like landscaping, where I can't spread this gravel out anywhere, dump it anywhere. So when I'm dumping it in a drain, or in a curtain drain or a French drain, I tilt the bed up and then use the tractor and scoop it out. Well, when I tilt the bed back and all this comes back against this gate, it starts falling out, it bows it out. So I'm gonna have to either strengthen that, or I'm gonna have to put something there to help support it in the middle. I'm sure it's not designed to do that, but that's what I need it for. So yeah. So you're seeing the first time I've ever dumped dirt with this, and I used the tailgate like a pickup truck tailgate, and I tested it and raised the bed up and it didn't hit the ground. But where I'm on a hill, it actually hit the ground, so it caused me to spread this dirt way farther out than I need to be. So I just started opening the barn doors from now on, and it actually did a whole lot better. So first impression is that this ain't right on this Cam Superline. This is too low. I understand that I need to raise it up. I got that. But it's not going to raise up that high, you know. By the time I make this trailer level, it only needs a few inches, and that's got a pile of dirt in it. Probably 1,000 pounds of dirt all the way in the front. So of course that sagged it down. I think that's built a little bit too low. The paint job, trash. Everywhere you look on it, there's rust already. This is a brand new trailer. This is the second load that's been hauled in it. I had to drill this hole in it right here because the frame bows out when you put a load against it. More rust. So, other than that, I mean, it seems to have dumped everything I put in it so far. I put 4 ton of rock in it, 3 ton of rock in it, and then I'm probably putting, to be honest with you, this is real wet dirt. This comes out of this pond and it's piled up. It's been sitting here a while, but you can see it's still real clumpy and chunky. I mean, it's just real heavy, so I'm putting a lot of weight on it, but I'm only going right back there behind the barn up there, or the shed. So 5-6 ton, I'd say. I'm putting 6 scoops of this skid steer in it. That's quite a bit. That's quite a bit of weight for it. So it's doing that fine. So I guess it's alright. It's dumping. It's fine. It's just I got to getting used to. I had a dump truck once, and now I got this. Dump truck's way easier. It's a lot of in and out of the truck. So get back at it. Whoops. Take this one. Like I said, I'm probably overloading the crap out of this trailer right now, but I'm getting a feel for it. I'm getting a feel for the truck. I know my 4-wheel drive keeps geeking out on me. Of course, there's always something I got to work on, but if this trailer's, if there's 6 ton in it, I think I said earlier 6,000 pounds. I meant 6 ton, so that'd be 12,000 pounds plus. Y'all fail. That would be 6 tons. I don't know what I said earlier. I might have said 6,000 pounds. I meant 6 tons. So that's 12, 13, 14, 15. It's like 15.5 thousand pounds, something like that. And then it's a tight fit through here. So I don't know how many more of these I'm gonna do before I call it quits. Like I said, just guessing. That's it. That's all she's got. It will not dump that. So I'm also facing downhill, so I'll turn around and try to dump it from the side and see how that does. I had to push it downhill and it's all leaning to this side, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully we don't break nothing. So, 6 scoops of wet dirt. All she wanted. Like I said, this is just that. So don't really blame the trailer that much. It's not supposed to haul that much, so maybe a scoop less. Yeah, maybe a scoop less. Come on, let's do it again. Well, there you got it, folks. That's our first trip first long trip, I hauled some gravel with it in the first segment you seen. So I said I need to readjust the angle of the tongue, so I'm going to get probably a straight pitch, or I could lower that tongue down one more notch, but I think I need to raise the actual hitch of the truck up. Other than that, I mean, it dumped it. You seen, well, I don't know if you could see it, so I overloaded it on that one and then was dumping on a hill, and then we was loading it to one side, and I actually think it might be a little tweaked now. I'm not sure, but it when the bed raises up, one side will raise up first, so I could have tweaked it a little bit. The hydraulics could be off a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. Shouldn't bother a whole lot because it all settles down just fine. Just when it's raising, just one side's pushing harder or less than the other. I'm not sure. Tailgate is a 3-way tailgate, which is completely awesome. So I can dump it, lay it down like a truck, and then I can use the spreader gate, and then it has the barn door, which is absolutely awesome. The downside of that is let me show you here. So the first job that you seen me on with the gravel, I was having issues right here. This gap right here was dumping gravel out of it. So, well, of course, you know, I've got 8,000 pounds lifted up in there and laid against these two doors. Understandable that's going to blow a little bit, but the trailers I've used, they never let any gravel out unless it come up over the top or up dirt, and I'm pushing on a tractor and everything. Well, this one I couldn't figure it out. After I finally figured it out, there's gravel in between this crack. Well, what this crack is this is the frame that actually will come out when you're using the spreader gate. So I was like, oh, I'll just weld it here, and all that weight will be fine. Well, then I couldn't let the tailgate, I wouldn't be able to let the tailgate down, and I wouldn't be able to use the spreader that way. So what does the man do? Because most of them, when this latch is shut, it actually latches to the frame of the trailer. So now that it's latching to the frame of the door, then it all bows out, allows gravel to come out. Well, if I'm dumping the gravel on the ground or spreading it, it's not going to be an issue. But for instances where I was doing a curtain drain, I couldn't just dump the gravel on top of gravel because there was no gravel. It bowed out. So what I did was drilled a hole through it. As you've seen on my TikTok, I drilled a hole all the way through it, and I have a bolt that I'll put through it. So in those instances where I'm going to be lifting the trailer up in the air and scooping material out, I'll go ahead and just throw that bolt in before I do that job, and I'll keep it with the rig. One of the other things that I looked at was these D-rings on a lot of the trailers. These D-rings are mounted in here on all four corners. Well, the trailer that I borrowed, when they lift it up, you'd have dirt stuck to the bed just like this, but up there. Well, I'll never be loading it, especially with wet dirt like this. I'll never be loading it all the way in the front like that. So of course it didn't stick up there, but back here where I'm loading it heavier, it of course stuck. So that was one thing I liked about it, is it wasn't on the floor, it was on the sides. The other thing that I don't like, which I understand you gotta save money somewhere if you're gonna make a cheaper trailer for people, is these pocket stakes. So most trailers, you have this frame here making the bed, then you have a pocket stake out here that you can put a 2x4 in, and then mount a board, and that board will lay right here. Well, this is all built into one. So if I put a board in here and then put a stake board, it's either going to be on the outside or it's going to be on the inside. I don't like that, so I'm coming up with a new plan. The other bull crap thing is, and look at that, I'm listening to lug nut again. I just replaced all these. Or just replace some and tighten them all down. The other thing that made me mad about this one is this one didn't come with jacks. So this is all hollow, and there will be a square tubing 2x4 that'll slide down. It has holes in it, and you put a pin in there. So when you load equipment onto it, it doesn't raise the back of the truck up. Well, it didn't come with them, so now I either have to buy them off of them. I think there was like 60, 70 bucks or 80 bucks or something. I can't remember. Or I go buy the tubing. Well, my idea for the boards on the side is to put tubing here, weld some flat stock here, and bend it up so the board sits in it and screw it to it. So I gotta buy the stuff anyway, so I'll probably just go ahead and buy enough to do the stabilizing jacks, the pocket stakes, all at once, and then just go buy 2 pins and a flat piece of metal to put on the bottom. But other than that, the trailer seems to do fine. It pulls way better than that one I borrowed, which is like a Tiger brand or something. I don't know. It was like a wagon. It's all over the place. About wrecked me. This one pulls. That load I just pulled back, it probably just as heavy, if not heavier, than the 4 tons of gravel that I pulled in it or hauled in it. And it done just fine, and it wasn't even centered up. It done fine, and then as you just seen, it dumped it. And I hauled 6 loads, I think 5 or 6, up over at my father's house. So it did all those loads, and the battery didn't die, and the pump didn't give out. Everything held up just fine. So far I'm pleased with it. These things are expensive, so it's kind of one of them things like, man, I really hope I get my money's worth. And I'm liking the trailer, I really am. But the paint job is trash. There were some dents and dings in it, a brand new one. Wheel studs was stripped out and cross-threaded. I'm missing lug nuts. There's a missing lug nut on the other side. The jack could be mounted a little bit higher. For the price that I'm paying for a dump trailer, those few things should be not a problem. I shouldn't have a problem with a paint job day one, you know, start realizing it. So, well, I'll catch y'all on the next one, and thanks for watching Shelton Show. God bless.